cooking! Today's mission, pretty simple. Overpower the Pond Prowler for my most illegal build yet for a couple reasons, and not just because this boat is only rated for a 3.5 on the US Coast Guard plate. We have a 5 horsepower Honda outboard on an old and pretty beat up Pond Prowler 10. And one of the reasons this boat beats kayaks is that it has a transom and you can put a motor on it. So I figured we'll see how fast she can go. We're gonna be testing a few different things. Of course, a transom test. How wobbly is this thing back here? Of course, a speed test, a maneuverability test, and finally, is it worth it? Should you do it? Is it safe, or is it a butt-cracking bad idea? Immediately, an issue that I found with my bow mount trolling motor is the way that the bow transom is angled. My trolling motor wants to go that way, so that's not good. Hopefully she don't deploy doing a freaking 15. I don't know how fast this thing's gonna go. Anyway, enough jabberboxing. Let's check out this transom. Of course, we're gonna see what the transom does on the water, but let's check out that flex. I'm just gonna slightly move it. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's only rated for a 3.5, but this is actually pretty decent. Some way, somehow, it's a little close. Some way, somehow, the Sun Dolphin American 12, rated for almost twice as much horsepower, had a lot floppier transom. Comment down below how fast you think this thing's gonna go. I think it's gonna go about 12, max. Another thing to note is that since these Pond Prowler seats slide and they don't lock in, when I tried to reach on the cowling to trim up the motor, it almost sent me over the transom. It tried to flip my seat. All right, we're in gear. This is gonna be raw reaction. Worried about the trolling motor, worried about this freaking seat flipping back, and it's way windier than it was supposed to be, so it's gonna be choppy. Let's let her rip. Okay, that was about half throttle. My seat immediately slid back, and I have to stay up here, otherwise it gets way too... All right. How about we put on the kill switch? That help, huh? I'm just gonna go wide open, baby. Oh, I'm sliding back. That's wide open! Holy smokes! Oh, that's so sketchy! It does not feel good! At all! Oh, my head! Alright. Oh! Alright. That was wide open. Couple thoughts. First thought is that my seat wants to slide back really fast. So I have to completely lean forward. Another thing is my seat wants to flip backwards. So it's trying to slide back and flip me over the transom. That felt sketchy. And in that short amount of time, my trolling motor went out about 4 inches, maybe even 5. Let's do it again. Oh my God. Gosh, guys, oh my gosh, I'm not joking. I think the reason that it's so sketchy is that this seat wants to go up, down, left, right, forward, backward. This seat feels beyond unsecure. Beyond unsecure. Holy smokes. But it's handling it like a champ, dude. There goes the trolling. Oh, I'm sliding back. Oh gosh, I about just flipped. That trolling motor's doing all right. Dude, we are flying. Oh, woo! Big weight. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. I thought this was just gonna be a chill video. I can't even put into words how sketchy this seat feels, dude. Let's see. Oh my, dude, that was like, 8 inches going out just in that short stint. Just the angle's not right for this type of setup. I know sometimes in these videos, I kind of like overreact. One, I get really excited. And two, sometimes it genuinely feels way sketchier what I'm doing on these tiny boats than it would ever look like. But I think if any of you that own a Pond Prowler would agree that these seats at high speeds, if you've done it, is pretty sketch. And I am happy to report the transom holds up just fine, just as good as the Sun Dolphin. The transom can take it. That's not why the horsepower rating's 3.5, folks. It's because this is sketchy. We're just gonna go straight to wide open. We're gonna go against the wind first, though. Oh yeah. Wide open into the wind. 11.12. Whoa, 13! 13 and a half. Boy, she's cooking! 13.7, 13.8, dude, just under 14. That almost doesn't seem right. Let's go with the wind. No way! Oh gosh. Oh. Oh. Oh, it doesn't like that. Doesn't like that at all. Let's just say I'm glad I remembered to put on my PFD at the beginning of this. A lot of the times I forget to put it on because I have my GoPro chest strap, so it just like intuitively, it feels subconsciously like I have my PFD on, but I don't. Oh my goodness. All right, transom, not a problem. If you want horsepower and you're worried about the transom, man, it's just, I wouldn't worry about it. Now, going anywhere past kind of a 5.6, it's gonna get heavy, and that's gonna weigh that stern down a lot. Now, the transom, good. Speed, phenomenal. 13 and a half going into it, 14 going with it. That is remarkable. Just under the John boat, which I know you guys are probably thinking it's a lightweight plastic boat, but it's also a pontoon boat. So it's not a flat bottom, it's not a V-hull, it is chunky, baby. It is a little bass barge. So speeds, extremely impressed. Maneuverability, not impressed. Now, if you have a flat bottom John boat or even the Sun Dolphin American 12, the transoms are a lot smaller, but you need at least a 15-inch shaft to get that propeller in the water. If you get an E-Lite E-Propulsion, that electric outboard we use on this a lot on this channel, it won't even fit. You have to get the long shaft version. So it sits higher in the water. It's not terrible, but when you turn, you hit any sort of wake, you hit your own wake, you're turned too sharp, that prop comes out of the water. So maneuverability, not great. Not to mention, my seat wants to, kill switch about pulled me in. Not to mention this seat gets pretty upset. Here's what I mean. When you accelerate, it wants to go backwards and it wants to flip backwards. When you go left and right, it wants to lift up on the edges here. So no matter what you're doing, you are going left, right, up and down, sideways. It is really, really sketchy, especially when you're going almost wide open and you turn, then it wants to go diagonally. It just doesn't feel good. You're sitting way above the water on the pontoons instead of in the water, kind of like the John boat. Now the trolling motor deal, I mean, it doesn't seem to want to go past a certain point, but still, it's not fun having to pull that thing back up every time. I don't know, this is sketchy, dude. This is sketchy. Let's give it one more run back to shore, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. But before we do that, if you like the foam on this boat, I actually started making Pond Prowler, Sun Dolphin, and Quest Angler 10-foot model foam templates. So you get the foam from Amazon, you drop my templates on top of it, trace it, and it saves you so much time having to get all these perfect round angles, especially that one up there around the rod holders. It's a hassle. Also on that same website, we did come out with hats. I'm not gonna talk about it a ton, but I did feel led to make these hats. They say fishers of men, Matthew 4:19. When Jesus approached Simon, later Peter, and his brother Andrew on the shore while they were fishing, he says, "Put down your nets, come follow me. I'm gonna teach you how to fish for men." And of course, some translations say fishers of men. So only reason I'm even bringing up the hats is because you're gonna see it probably on the website before you see the template. So that's what that's about. Anyway, God bless you guys, and pray for me as I get us back to shore. It's gonna be just fine. If anything, it kind of calmed down out here. That was took a little getting used to. I feel better now. Check out how much I can raise this bow up when I kind of punch it and I turn at the same time. Look at that. Straight in the sky, dude. Look at that. We're doing a wheelie. And then finally she gets on plane. Did you see that? All right, let's do it again. I'm just gonna punch it and turn at the same time. I don't know if you can tell, dude, we are doing a wheelie right now. And then she gets on plane. That's so crazy. Ha. I will say when the water flattens out, like on a calm lake or a pond, it gets really comfortable. And 14 feels a lot less sketchy. It feels really good right now. I guess it really just depends on the body of water that you're gonna be fishing, because this is great. All right, final thoughts after I finally got used to kind of how to sit in the boat and distribute my weight. Do I think you should put a 5 horsepower on the Pond Prowler? Realistically, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I had a blast. Going 14 miles an hour in this tiny boat is a ton of fun. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when something goes wrong. I'm not worried about the transom. I'm worried about you throwing yourself out of this boat. And you know, it's not the end of the world, but at the end of the day, this is truly a truck bed pond boat. This is the biggest boat that you can really put on the top of a car. So yeah, this boat is meant to be small. It's meant to be light, portable. And I mean, yeah, it's a really good one-person solo fishing boat. But man, I'm telling you, that's a little bit sketchy, a little bit too much. So do I think you should put a outboard on your Pond Prowler? Heck yeah, I think you should. But should it be above a 3.5? Listen, the John boat, I would say go to a 9.9 all day long, even though it's rated for a 6. This one, the problem is the seat. It's just the seat. That's the only thing. Now, maybe if you sat farther up and you got a tiller extender, maybe it'd be a little bit better. But I'm telling you, it is not a matter of if, it's when. You do something too sharp, you hit a wake, something weird happens, and you're going overboard. Thanks for hanging out on today's adventure and experiment. I had a ton of fun, and even though it's sketchy, I'm still gonna fish it like this the rest of the day. I appreciate you guys hanging out. All of the glory goes to our Father in heaven. As always, tight lines, and God bless.